My name is John Drews. I'm a leather crafter and a knife builder from Red Wing, and I've got a keen interest in Scandinavian knives. I've been building these for approximately 15 years. Perhaps you've heard of Scandinavian knives or know something about them. I'd like to explain some of the unique features of these types of knives, and I'm going to show you some examples, and I've got a diagram here that I'll refer to as well. So when this is all done, you should know some of the basics of Scandinavian knives. Now, whether they come from Norway, Sweden, or Finland, there are subtle differences, but I'm going to be dealing with the basic things that they all have in common. I've got a knife here that I made some years ago. This would be considered a Norwegian style knife. The blade is about 3.5 inches in length. It's got a curved cutting edge. It's not hollow ground, it's a flat grind, so it can be sharpened nicely on a stone. The spine is straight, the edge is curved. Now, if you were to look at this blade from the edge, it is actually a 3-layer sandwich of 2 different types of steel. The outer layers, the bread in this so-called sandwich, would be a mild steel. In this case, the alloy is 1018. It's not real hard, but it's a tough, durable steel. The meat in the sandwich, now that's a high carbon steel. In this case, 15N20. It can be formed into a razor sharp, durable cutting edge with a proper type of heat treat and tempering. That is typical of Norwegian style knives, not so much Finnish or Swedish, where they would use typically 1 layer of steel. From the side, you can see the handle is made of wood. It's a birch burl with a bronze bolster here and some colored accents. I'm going to use a diagram now. If you were to look at this knife with the point aimed right at you and had a cross section of the handle, the cross section of the handle would look like this. An elongated egg shape with the fat part of the egg on top and the narrow part on the bottom. This is very typical of Norwegian style knives. Looking at the knife from the top, it's quite narrow. At the front of the handle, it swells a bit halfway down to fit the palm and begins to narrow on the other end, the upper end of the handle here. So from the side, you see a little belly on the knife. What this all means is that this is a very ergonomic design. It fits the hand. When I grasp this like this or like this, I could be blindfolded. I know where the edge is. In building these knives, there of course is a long tail or tang that extends up into the handle. Now, the sheath for this knife is made of leather, and it's a form-fitting sheath that covers more than half the handle. It's a dangler. In other words, it pivots like this so that if you have it hanging on your belt and you take a seat, the point is not going to stick into the cushion. It can be swung to the side like so. This is typical of Scandinavian knives, this dangling belt loop. Some of these are two-part sheaths, like this one. Wood on the bottom, leather here, and of course the wood handle. I'd like to stop.
Sure.
I gotta